As you see, I do not have an apron on today, and that is because today I'm not actually cooking. I'm just going to talk to you for a minute. Hello and welcome to my keto kitchen. I'm Victoria. Today I want to tell you about some changes that I am making to my new standard keto flour coming on Friday. Anytime that I post a new flour, I get to listen to your experiences, I get to listen to your opinions, and even though I may have created the flour through very scientific based processes, well, that just doesn't equal experience. Experience means a lot more. So, there were some things about the flour that I want to talk about that I changed in the last week, and I've remade different recipes and they came out better. So when I bring the new video on Friday, you can know there's nothing extra. There's nothing needed to buy, nothing like that. It's just change in amounts. Now, the first change is the biggest, in my opinion, and that is the xanthan gum. I took out a lot of the xanthan gum, remade the recipe just to see what happened. And here is one. I made this for myself today. Already used that much, sorry. But this is the exact same recipe. There's no difference. The only difference, there's no difference. The only difference. I'm sorry, that makes no sense. There is a difference, and the only difference is xanthan gum. The amount of xanthan gum in this is far less than what is in the new standard keto flour when I originally put it out. And the first thing that you'll notice with less xanthan gum is the inside is not as moist. It's quite a bit more dry, like any piece of bread would be. This is identical to the dryness of bread that you buy in the store, that you bring home. This is not moist, okay? Also, sometimes with xanthan gum, when you taste your bread, you'll notice it's kind of cold. And that's because xanthan gum can hold in moisture, which also it holds in gases. So this is dry and it's not cold. You can tell it just is like it is exactly like bread. So in the coming recipe, there will be much less xanthan gum. You just don't need it. You've got to have some. You truly have to have some, because bamboo fiber is not as powerful without the xanthan gum. With the amount of xanthan gum that we're going to use, it'll still build you a beautiful, large, risen bread, minimal egg whites, but with a dry, non-wet inside. Also, it isn't cold. Now, that's the first change. The second change is in almond flour and pecan flour. There was issues with others because of the two kind of different recipes. There was more egg white protein powder for the amount of pecan flour, but there was less egg white protein powder and more grams in the almond flour. So, putting those two things together, listening to your experiences as well as my own experiences, the flour coming on Friday, I believe I'm going to call it my revised new standard keto flour. That second change is going to be between egg white protein powder, almond flour, and pecan flour. I will be using the same amount, cup-wise, of almond flour and pecan flour, and we'll also be using the same amount of egg white protein powder. Whether you use almond flour or pecan flour, it's going to be the same amount of egg white protein powder, the same amount of bamboo fiber, and the same amount of xanthan gum. So the base of this flour is going to be identical whether you want to use almond flour or pecan flour. It's going to be the same. I have simplified this and by God's grace figured out the right amount of xanthan gum to continue to rise something like this, yet be dry and not be cold, and fix some issues that we had with the last flour version. So as I put things out to you, I just want you to know that I've said it so many times already, and I'm sorry to repeat myself, but I don't stop. I continue to work. When you come to my channel, you can know that I have given you the best of what I have experienced in my kitchen. I am not one to just sit on something and just keep it for myself. If I found a better way, there's gonna be a video and it's coming out and I'm gonna give it to you. So this is still going to be my new standard keto flour. It'll be the revised version. It will be easier to make the entire thing because, as I said, through experience, my experience, your experience, putting that together and making something just right that everyone can enjoy and benefit from. Also, another thing that I want to address on Friday is if you cannot get bamboo fiber, what do you use and how much of it do you use? I'm going to give you a heads up. The option is going to be oat fiber, and then I'll tell you exactly how much in cups and grams of oat fiber that you need to still make my new standard keto flour. I want to leave off with this. A lot of people sometimes have issues with different flours and different recipes. I'll be like, this one turned out great. This one did not turn out great. Why? A lot of times I'm finding that when you make your flour, if you do not thoroughly mix that flour, you will have a little bit more almond flour on this side, you'll have more xanthan gum on this side. So I just wanted to preface the video coming on Friday, the changes, that it's going to be my new standard keto flour, but it's going to be made through experience, not just the science behind the absorption power of each of these things. Things like that, it's not that. This time, it's more on experience and it works better. I hope this video is making you excited for Friday, because if you've had trouble in any way with this flour, just know that on Friday might be exactly what you're needing to get everything the way you want it to be, the way you're expecting it to be, okay? So I will see you on Friday, and I hope you have a blessed day.